What's up, everybody? We are live with the MMA Mainstream Podcast. I'm James, as always, joined by his co-host, Kaelyn. What's going on? How's it going?
It's going. I'm glad it's Friday.
All right.
Glad it's Friday.
Yep, same here.
Yeah.
Same here. We have two events going on this weekend. Both, I don't think they're at the same time. Hopefully not, because that's the real dilemma. But we have Bellator and we have a UFC Fight Night going on. But prior to that, we're going to talk about last week's UFC and just breeze through real quick with our picks. And yeah, I was kind of shocked by the results of our picks. That's all I got to say about that. But we'll just we'll get to it right now. I believe that's actually the wrong card, so let me fix that for us.
That's the one coming up.
Here we go. Yeah, that's the one that's tomorrow. But here's the previous weeks. We have Adrian Yanez versus Randy Costa. All three of us picked Yanez to win, so yay, we scored points.
Yes.
I'm sad that Costa's hair being so gorgeous and beautiful didn't help him get the win. But Yanez gets the win in the second round at 2-11.
Yeah. So that fight was crazy. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But the first round was pretty competitive. Yanez was throwing – well, actually, they were both throwing pretty heavy strikes, but they were also they both seemed to really have their distance down, so it was really cool. They were tagging each other up with a lot of jabs, so it was pretty I liked it. Yanez got the better of him in the second round. He really outboxed him. I think he got him with a good liver shot. And then so he kind of buckled after that. But before that, I mean, he was just kind of like, he was really, I guess you could say, boxing his head off, Connor's words.
Now, my question is, did Costa's hair move at all during this?
No, it looked perfect. It was so nice. Yeah. He was doing okay in the first round, but that, man, he just couldn't keep up and got tired. And then he took that liver shot. So that was kind of, it was exciting. I like to see that. That was cool. It was a good boxing match. Good striking.
Well, we all picked Yanez to win, and we're glad he got the victory on that one. That's for sure. Although I hope Costa comes back and keeps that hair, high and tight,
Yeah.
And then we had Miranda Maverick versus Macy Barber.
Yeah.
Split decision in favor of Barber in this one.
Yes. This fight, Macy Barber seemed, she did great, but she seemed more like defensive rather than her usual offensive self. She still did good. Miranda Maverick has some really good kicks, and she has pretty long legs, so she throws a lot of head kicks, body kicks too. So I don't know if maybe Macy Barber was afraid to just like get in there. I think I even heard her corner, because she's with Team Alpha Male now with Uriah Faber. I think I heard him in the corner. He's like, hey, you got to try and hit her. Like she was keeping her
do something
just a little too far, to where when she did strike, it didn't really reach right away. So but it was good. I think Macy Barber was trying to maybe be a little smarter against this girl, because she knew she had longer limbs, it seemed like, and threw those heavy kicks. But it was a good match for the most part. I'm glad she won. Miranda Maverick seemed to, I'd say Macy Barber definitely had the edge on it. I can't say they were both way better than the other. It was pretty close, but Macy Barber had the edge on that one.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, just looking at the total strikes, like, wow, I'm surprised Maverick didn't edge her out. It was a split decision, so it was close, but didn't edge her out based off of striking.
Yeah, I mean, it was close, but Macy Barber had a little bit of an edge on there. And Miranda Maverick kind of seemed to be slowing down towards the end, too, where Macy Barber was kind of still in there the whole fight. So I think maybe the judges kind of gave her the edge. Maybe that's what that was. So it was a good fight, though.
Gotcha. Now we're going to just keep going up the card with the featherweights. Darren Elkins versus Derrick Minor. Minor, yep.
Yeah, this one. So Darren Elkins looked like an animal in there. It's pretty cool. He, if I remember correctly, it was round 2. Finished him, got him on the ground, and kind of held him there. I don't know what the move is or what the jiu-jitsu position is, but he had him locked there on the ground. Just kind of, he was pretty much just pounding in the side of his head to where he couldn't really do anything. So the ref pretty much just had to stop it because nothing else was going to happen from that point. But it was a good fight for Darren Elkins, though. He definitely stepped it up, I guess. But yeah, that one was interesting. I think I had Derek Minner for this one. For my
that
pick.
you did. Me and Archie picked Darren Elkins on that.
Yeah. But yeah, it was an interesting fight. I was surprised, but Darren Elkins looked pretty good. He seemed to have a lot of energy there, so I guess good for him.
This reminds me of you when you're talking about jiu-jitsu. What I'd really like to see is the Scottish martial arts used. Have you ever heard of those martial arts?
No.
It's called "fuck you."
Sorry,
that was just that's just stupid. Yeah.
All right.
Complete like dad joke. Sorry.
That was, yeah.
All right. Moving up the card, we have Kyler Phillips versus Raulian Paiva. Yes. There we go. Thank you.
So this one was crazy. It looked
in a good way, in a bad way.
It looked like 2 animals in a cage going at it. Like, it was great. Like, these guys.
And that sounds amazing.
It was crazy. These guys were, I mean, I think listening to the commentators, I could see that they're like, oh, they're kind of just, they're not using their, what do you call it? They're not using their
technique.
Technique. Yeah. Because they're kind of sloppy, but they were both just moving so fast. I think they were just scrambling just to get something, and they definitely weren't relaxed, and they weren't looking for their shots. They're kind of just throwing everything that they got in the moment at each other. Yeah. But it was definitely entertaining. Kyler Phillips is a animal. Like, I saw him, his little previews before this fight and his last ones. He looked the same. He always does this, but this was pretty interesting. It was definitely entertaining.
All right, so they went out. I want to watch that back now because I want to see what it looks like when these two go toe to toe. Especially if you said they look like animals.
You need to watch it.
Holy cow!
You need to watch it. It was good.
All right, and then we have the main event: Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw. Dillashaw is making his return after a long layoff from, I believe, a suspension due to performance enhancers, and he gets the split decision win in 5 rounds. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to catch the fight, but I did hear that early on he was in trouble, but with Dillashaw having the championship mentality and being there before in high-level fights, that he was able to just outlast.
So he was himself pretty much. He had his endurance. It never really stops. He keeps going. Corey Sandhagen was doing really well. He did touch him up pretty good. Both of them were super tough. I think some people even said that they thought that Corey Sandhagen won the fight. But it was a good fight. It was entertaining. TJ Dillashaw did good. He did what kind of I thought he was going to do. So that's about it. I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't be all 5 rounds. I was kind of hoping to see a finish there, but oh well. But they both looked good. I kind of feel bad for Corey Sandhagen because he did so well and he just didn't get the win there. But
I feel like with TJ Dillashaw being the wrestler that he is, you should expect for it to go to the decision.
Yeah. And then I don't remember exactly the whole fight, but I think he got some takedowns there that may have scored him a few.
He got scored 2 takedowns.
That's why. Yeah, I don't remember what round, but that had to have been the deciding factor there because they were both throwing a lot of strikes. But he got the edge on that, kind of mixed it up a little more. They both did good. It was a good fight. It was entertaining. It was good, definitely a good fight for him to come back to, especially with a tough opponent like Corey Sandhagen. So I'm interested to see what's next for him. I want to see who they match him up with and how it's going to go.
That will be interesting to see. especially with Sandhagen coming off the loss, and then you have Dillashaw. Do you think Dillashaw is going to be thrown right back into the rankings because of this?
I don't know. I
mean, he beat number 2.
Yeah. So I don't know what Dana White wants to do with him. I'm assuming it's got to be whatever the next one's got to be. It's got to be big. I don't think you could fight anyone below that, right? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, maybe you could, but I don't see Dillashaw taking your fight. I see Dillashaw being like, no, I beat your number 2. Give me number 1 or give me the champ.
Yeah, he kind of just proved himself. So, yeah.
Very true. Very true.
Do you think it's who's number 1? So Sandhagen was number 2, bantamweight.
The fans are number 1. No, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I feel like it would be for Dillashaw. It's number 1 champ. Yeah, that's it.
Give it to him. See what happens. Give him the championship. Yeah. See what happens.
Yeah. All right. Now, when it came down to our picks, our guest Archie went undefeated. He got every pick right for the main card, whereas I picked 3, and Kaelyn, you only had 1 correct pick.
Shit.
Yeah.
That was Barber, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's who it was. But it's okay because we have 2 fight cards we're going to go through, and you could always bounce back. We'll see. Hopefully I can retain some positivity and continue with making those good picks. All right. So we finished last week's. Now we're going to move on to this week's fight night, which has Uriah Hall taking on Sean Strickland.
Yes.
Go to the bottom of that card, the main card. And we're going to start with Brian Barbarina versus Jason Witt in the welterweight division.
Yeah, I've
15
seen
15-7, 18-7.
Okay.
Barbarina coming off of a win, Witt coming off of a loss.
His nickname, it's funny.
Which one, Bam Bam or the Vanilla Gorilla?
The Vanilla Gorilla.
Well, last time the Vanilla Gorilla lost. So
hey, wait a second, Bam Bam. That's Tai Tuivasa's nickname.
I feel like a lot of people have that nickname.
Oh, do they? Oh, okay. I like Tai Tuivasa. I like that one on him.
Well, he is known as a striker. Like, he will pummel you. So I feel like it does suit him better than a welterweight. I feel like that's a big man name, Bam Bam.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've seen Brian Barbarina fight before. I don't really know too much about Jason Witt. I think I've seen him fight once, but I still didn't.
Yeah,
really know
I saw his last fight, which was the loss.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, hold on. What's going on there? Jason Witt is a 170 pounder, and 155 for Brian Barbarina. What's going on there?
Yeah. That's what it is. I mean, it's a welterweight fight.
It's a welterweight. Oh, okay. So Barbarina's going up in weight then, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, that's interesting. Coming off of a win and going up to a new weight class.
Probably just the opportunity to fight is why he decided to do that. He also does have the reach and the leg reach advantage. Not my much on the leg reach, but the reach he has 2.5 inch reach.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. But look at those stats though. So well.
And you have somebody in Witt who is already comfortable at 170.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. Man. I wish I knew why he was going up in weight. Maybe he doesn't want to cut weight, or maybe it is just a fight issue where he just wanted to take a fight and it was offered. I don't know. I'm going to pick Brian Barbarina, though, for that one, just because I don't know enough about Jason Witt. I think I've seen him fight once, but I'm going to go with Brian Barbarina for that one.
I'll go that route, too. I mean, coming off the win, not really having to cut weight, so he won't be badly dehydrated. You know, I don't know how far Witt has to come down in weight to make weight, but, you know, sometimes it doesn't work out for some fighters, but I'd rather have the guy who's going up in weight because then he's like, hey, man,
Yeah.
you want some Cheetos? While he's
I know.
doing weigh-ins. All right. And then now we have Jared Gooden versus Nicholas Sulzie.
Yeah, I think
12-4 versus 17-6.
Okay. Both coming off of losses. I believe, I could be wrong, but I think Jared Gooden, I want to say he came off of the Contender Series. I could be wrong, but I think that's where he came off of. I'm not sure. But Nicholas Stolze, I've seen him fight once. I don't know too much about him either. This fight card kind of, I don't want to say it sucks because I love UFC, but not too familiar with this whole fight card here. I don't even know who to pick on this one.
I really don't either. Both coming off losses. Not a huge difference in between experience between wins and losses, or comparisons between, one has 17, like less than 20 fights, the other one has over 20 fights, but it's not enough of a huge difference. Like where some fighters you see have 10 fights in compared to the other fighter who only has 2.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Jared Gooden for this one.
You picked Gooden. I'm going to pick Nicholas, the German. I'll go with him. And then we'll just go ahead and keep going up this fight card. We have the female strawweight bout between Cheyenne Buys versus Gloria DePaula. All right. 5-2 versus 5-3, both coming off losses. Buys is from the United States, while DePaula is from Brazil.
Yeah. I don't know too much about Gloria DePaula, but I've seen Cheyenne Buys fight a couple times, I think. Nothing really stood out to me about either of them. And they are look pretty new here in their fighting career for UFC. But if I have to guess, I'm gonna go with Cheyenne Buys just because I've seen her fight before. But that's all that guess is on.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pick DePaula because last time I picked Buys, she lost.
Oh, you remember? Oh,
I'm going DePaula.
Okay.
We'll see how they come out because they have really similar fight records. So that's I feel like it'll be a pretty close fight. So I actually look forward to seeing how that goes. And then we have a bantamweight bout between Young Ho Kang versus Ronnie Yaya. 17-8 and 1 no contest versus 27-10, 1 and 1 no contest. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yaya has been fighting for a long time.
Yeah, he has.
Like a long time. He, I believe in the press conference, he said that he had considered retiring during this long layoff. So, wow. All of his wins are either by decision or submission.
Yeah.
No knockouts.
Oh man, I've seen the other guy fight before. It's just not fresh in my head, and I think it's been a while. I'm definitely gonna pick Ronnie Yaya for this one, though. He's just
Yaya,
veteran there, so
very true. Does have quite the record. Ooh man, you know what? I'm gonna go Ho Kang on this.
Okay.
Just purely based off the fact that he has some knockouts. So he does have the ability to knock someone out.
He has a pretty long reach for that weight.
Yeah, holy moly. 73 versus 67.
That's long. That is long.
Yeah. That's going to take a lot of work for Yaya to get in there and score a takedown if he's even, if he even goes that route, which I imagine I imagine so, especially when you have a 78% submission win rate. But Ho Kang is no slouch at 65%.
I know. Yeah, this one, I think this one's going to be a really good fight, actually. I'm kind of looking forward to this one. So I'm picking Ronnie Yaya.
If this goes the distance, I would not be shocked, but I would love to see a finish to this fight.
Yeah, I kind of want to see a submission here. I want to see what happens. I think Yaya will get it, but we'll see.
Yaya. I'm sorry, all I could think of was that movie. I don't even know what it's called. I just the name. Now we're on to the main event where we have Uriah Hall versus Sean Strickland, number 8 versus number 11. 18-9 versus 23-3-1. Both coming off wins. I mean, everybody knows Hall for his devastating knockouts.
Yeah. Wasn't he the one that broke Weidman's leg there, the last fight that he had? What, right?
I want to say, yeah.
Yeah, Uriah Hall was fighting Chris Weidman when he snapped his shin.
Yeah.
That's his last win. That's what his last fight was. And it makes sense. He wanted to turn around pretty fast from that. So already has an opponent in Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland's doing pretty good, though, lately, I think.
I mean, he's 23-3.
Yeah.
And 1.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. I think
I feel like this fight card, in the way of the way it's stacked up, is a lot of these fighters are very similar. Sometimes we see some mismatches, but this card, you have guys that are, man, like this. I feel like this is going to go the distance because they're so similar. It's just going to be a style clash that just won't work out. But I am looking forward to this. I'm going to go with Strickland. 23-3-1. That's who I'm going with.
Okay, I don't know. I'll go with Uriah Hall.
You go with Hall?
Yeah.
All right. Those are our picks for the UFC Fight Night card that's going to be happening tomorrow. But there also was a fight or two that fell off. Yep. It was women's flyweight champion Nico Montano,
really?
who weighed in 143 for her planned bout with Wu Yanan.
Oh my gosh.
So that fight was canceled. And then Ronnie Lawrence was not able to weigh in, citing medical concerns. And so his bout with Trevin Jones was canceled.
Oh, geez. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the undercard for this had some issues.
So this was the undercard then?
Yeah.
Man,
former women's flyweight champion. Sorry, not current, former.
You know, man, so Nico Montano, she's the one that won the Ultimate Fighter, the show. And when it came time to defend the belt, I believe she just dropped out. I forgot what the excuse was or what that was all about, but I think she had to relinquish her belt because of it at that point. And
makes sense. She's 1-1 in the UFC.
Yeah. And she did fight again a while ago. I don't remember that one. Did she win? I think she won. I'm not sure. Anyways, I was really disappointed having watched that whole show and watching her win the belt and do absolutely nothing with it. Like, she kind of had her little victory lap there with the belt and didn't do anything with it. And then I think she tried to come back and fight and then canceled again or something. I don't remember. I just remember being really disappointed with her. And I don't know if she's really, I mean, she's good, but I don't know. She didn't really stand out. And then the fact that she was like, she was trying to fight at bantamweight and weighed in at 143. That's insane. Yeah. Like, I don't think she wants to fight. I think this entire time, I don't think she wants to fight.
That could be true. And unfortunately, there are fighters out there.
I'm surprised they haven't cut her already.
Well, she's only 1-1. If she had another loss, I could see them cutting her.
I know. So, it's just all the
she's 4-3, but 1-1 in the UFC.
Yeah. I was just so disappointed with her from watching that show and then all these cancellations and her not actually fighting, whatever the situation was. It could be something, but and then now being that overweight, that's insane. It's like, I don't know, to be that overweight, I feel like you would have to already know you're having an issue and just didn't do anything about it. I don't know. Who knows? She could have some medical issues going on. I don't know. But
well, I hope that's not the case, but it's still a level of unprofessionalism when you don't make weight. That's part of your responsibility as a fighter is to make the agreed upon weight, and you didn't do it. So not only like they just cut the fight. Yeah, they just cut the fight. There's like, it's not like we're gonna break you off some. Oh, here's part of your purse going to the competing fighter. It's just that's a wrap.
You're not gonna fight. Well, I don't think her opponent probably said hell no. Maybe I'm not sure, but
especially with that kind of weight difference. But
that's an obvious like. Maybe she didn't even try cutting weight. I'd be pissed off. It's like, well, screw you.
Right? Forget you then.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight you. Huh. Dummy.
Yeah. I think her opponent that she was gonna fight is actually doing really well. So
according to this, she is 11-4 in MMA and 1-3 in the UFC.
Oh, never mind. Wow. Okay.
So,
I might be thinking of somebody else.
Probably, and that I feel like that's a make or break fight. Like, if she didn't win that fight, she's gone.
Yeah, and maybe that's why she didn't want to fight her being that heavy.
Yeah, that completely makes sense, and it's a professional thing, Gotta be professional. You're a professional fighter. That's part of it. There you go. Now we are going to move on to Bellator, which is also going on tomorrow night. We have Aj Mckee versus Patricio Pitbull for the Featherweight World Grand Prix. We're going to get to the main event, but we'll start from lower in the card with Mads Burnell versus Emmanuel Sanchez, 25-20-5 versus 15-3. They're fighting in the featherweight division. And got a guy from Denmark versus a guy from the U.S.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Emmanuel Sanchez. I've seen him fight a bunch of times. He's pretty good. I'm gonna go with him. Plus, I don't know who the other guy is.
You know what? I will also do the same, just because. Yeah, I don't know who Mads Burnell is, but he's got a really cool name in Mads. I like that. So we'll just go with that. Moving down the card, we have Usman Nurmagomedov versus Manny Muro. I'm gonna go with Khabib's cousin.
Yeah.
Homeboy's 12-0.
Yeah, me too,
sure. Versus 12-6.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, he shares the name. Yeah, they're related. From what I've seen, his style is different. He likes to strike more.
He's a good striker. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas his cousin was a phenomenal wrestler. But I'm going to take him regardless. So that's in the lightweight division. Let's go ahead and move on. We have Brent Primus versus Islam Mamedov.
Okay.
19-1-1 versus 10-1.
Okay.
Ooh, Islam has that experience.
Yeah.
They're fighting at 155. I'm going to go Islam on that.
Me too. Yeah, same here.
All right. Let's go ahead and keep going on this card. We have Goti Yamauchi versus Chris Gonzalez. Wow.
Yeah.
The fight record. Come on, folks.
I know.
Like 6-0. Like, is Gonzalez fighting like the top fighters in the world just starting out? Is that why like you're going to match him with somebody who has 30 fights total? Like, come on.
Yeah. That's crazy.
No. I'm going to go Yamauchi.
Yep, of course.
Purely based off of experience.
Yep.
All right, now we made our way to the main event with Patricio Pitbull versus Aj Mckee. Aj Mckee, a second-generation fighter. His father was actually an MMA fighter. Fought in the IFL. He fought all around, pretty much. Mckee is 17-0 versus Pitbull, who is 32-4. Pitbull is the dual champ, I believe.
Yep.
He's the stud. And they've had some heat going into this fight at different press conferences. They keep
I heard about
getting riled up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, makes the fight more exciting.
Yeah.
Who do you take? Do you take the champ or do you take the undefeated Aj Mckee?
The champ.
You're going with the champ?
Oh yeah, always.
You know what? I will go with the champ as well.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say that.
I was going to be dramatic for a second, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll go with the champ as well. And on this card, we have all the same picks, but it's all right because it happens from time to time. Hopefully, we get the right picks. That's what matters. And I believe we also had a preliminary fight fell off when Justin Berry did not receive medical clearance from the California State Athletic Commission to fight against Daniel Compton. And so Compton will be paid his show money.
Okay.
But will not get the chance to fight. I believe that's the only fight that fell off the card, and that was in the prelims. So, yeah, some interesting stuff going on in the world of MMA as it pertains to fighters not making weight.
I guess. I don't know. I think you're always going to get that, though, no matter what. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that anymore. Especially, like, thinking about Nico Montano, how much she missed. Like, that's a extreme amount.
Nuts.
It's like, that's disrespectful. It's like, I mean, why go that far just to be that overweight? Like, just, I don't know. Can you just call it off before, if you're that much overweight? I think that's more professional to do it that way.
You would think so. But let's talk about one thing real quick, and we'll continue with some more pro MMA. We're having Archie, who was here last week. I thought he would join us this time. Unfortunately, he did not. But he's been working with the IKF Point Muay Thai guys, and they're going to have a fight night in Bakersfield.
Great.
And we've talked to you a little bit about this, being our resident Muay Thai fighter. But here's some information about it. That's some documentation that I need to get rid of on my computer. My bad. But it's honoring our first responders. No knockout, semi-contact. Pure Combat's presenting it. All the information is on the flyer. If you have any questions or want to sign up, I'm pretty sure they already have a fight card set. But if you want to find out more information, the information is on the flyer, as you can see. Or if you have any questions, just contact any of us with the MMA Fight Pass crew, and we will get you set up to where you need to be and who you need to discuss it with. It's happening on September 11th. So really interesting date, but they will be holding the fights on that day in Bakersfield.
Looks fun.
I hope so. It's supposed to be a pretty neat venue with three mats going.
Good.
Or
okay.
3 fights going, and it's supposed to be a pretty lengthy competition. So I've actually never been to one. I've only watched Muay Thai that's been in one ring, and it was one championship. That Muay Thai fight, I don't remember the dude's name, but it was like Iron Man or something like that. And oh my God, that was amazing. I'm kind of hoping I see that here. I know I won't because it is no knockout and semi-contact. I know I won't, but
you'd be surprised. I mean, you're not supposed to, but it definitely happens. Not supposed to, but it does happen quite a bit, unfortunately. But I mean, that's what you're gonna get when you get any kind of contact competition. I don't know what semi-contact's all about there.
It's just what it said on the poster. I'm not really sure.
Not sure about all the rules.
You're my Muay Thai expert, so
I believe. I mean, I've done one of those before. I think it's full contact though, unless they mean the gear that you need to be wearing, of course. But I don't know. I just know those things they have pretty lengthy meetings in the beginning to go over all that stuff and to make sure everyone understands the rules and all that. The ones I've been to that have been organized by other gyms and stuff, pretty shady, but it's interesting.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, interesting. Especially the ones going up north. Other gyms, I noticed a lot of, I'm not going to name them, but a lot of professional gyms that produce a lot of pro fighters will have a lot of their experienced fighters get in there and, light some people up on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you're going to get that in every sport, though. I don't like it. Because, you have these people that go in there for the first time. This is supposed to get people used to getting, getting used to fighting and actually feeling what it's like to be in there and to be getting kicked and punched by someone who has intention rather than just your sparring partners that might be taking it more easy on you and obviously don't want to hurt you. So it's interesting. I don't know. I've seen there was one that I did, a PKB that I did up in Rockland, where I think I witnessed about 4 knockouts, in the first round. Yeah, it sucked because you could tell when someone's really experienced going in there, and you can tell that this is like someone's first day, so it's really unfair. And unfortunately, a lot of them are set up that way. You'll get gyms that will handpick their opponents, and they normally, if you're able to do that, you have some kind of pull or influence over the entire thing. So of course they'll accommodate you. You know what I mean? I don't want to say it's rigged because it's not all rigged, but a lot of it is. So I don't know. Maybe just be extra careful. This one looks completely different just because of the area and stuff. So I think it'll be interesting. They do have them in Madeira. Those are really good. Those are pretty entertaining. I think they just had one not too long ago. I wasn't able to make that one, but
I'm not sure if it's put on by the same group. Not like Archie's a part of this one, but I believe it's under the same banner as the ones in Madeira. I'm not quite sure.
That's cool. Yeah, that'd be really good.
That should be awesome.
Yeah, I've been to the Madeira one before a while back, and it was interesting. It was fun. A lot of people got some good experience. If you're new to fighting and you want to compete, it's actually a really good thing to get into, to get used to. So it's interesting because there's no ring. You're not on a ring. You're on a mat. You're on a mat that's taped off. So you got your bounds there with tape. And so you got a ref there that's watching you pretty closely, making sure, you don't step out of the line. And then also, if they think you're going too rough or something doesn't look right, they kind of intervene. But from what I've seen, the guys in Madeira do it really well. So if those are the same guys, that'd be really cool. But otherwise, should be pretty cool. I don't know.
All right. Well, I look forward to checking it out. I do plan on being there. So we'll see what happens. And if you guys, like I said, if you guys have any questions, contact us, any of us at MMA Fight Pass, and we will get it all figured out and get your questions answered. So also, we have Cody Gibson. He's a local fighter. I know you really don't know who he is, Kaelyn, but he's a local fighter from Visalia. He fought in the UFC, fought for Tachi. I've seen just about all of his fights. Really good dude. He's competing. He got back into MMA, and he's competing tonight. Forgive me for not remembering the promotion. I want to say it's ex-MMA. I couldn't tell you who he's fighting against, but it's been such a long layoff that it'll be good for him to get the ring rust off to get back in there and mix things up. So good luck tonight to Cody Gibson. And then our last thing we're going to talk about, we have 2 more things to discuss. One is Paige Van Zandt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you surprised that she lost?
No, not really. I think I picked her to win based off of what she looked like in her last fight.
And she had the experience. So I completely understand why you would pick her.
I thought she kind of impressed me with her boxing skills. I didn't really know. I didn't think she would be that good at it, at least enough to. I mean, honestly, I thought her first fight before watching it, I was like, oh, she's going to get finished like pretty quick. It's going to be pretty bad. But she actually made the distance and did pretty well. So I thought this one, I'm like, oh, well, maybe she's got it. She seemed pretty motivated lately. And then Rachel Ostovich, I wasn't really sure how she was going to look because based on her past UFC fights, they seem to be a little disappointing. But yeah, I'm a little surprised just because I didn't really know much. I didn't know what to expect. I did think that Paige was going to get the edge. I definitely didn't think she was going to get finished, but definitely get maybe the edge just based on a little more experience. But I guess this is her second loss in this organization. I'm curious to see what Rachel Ostovich does next, or who she fights next. That would be pretty cool to see. I don't know. I see a lot of drama around Paige Van Zandt. I don't know if people are calling her out like because she loses or because she is who she is. I don't know. It seems to follow her around wherever, and she seems to be really like, I don't know. She goes out of her way to say she's not bothered by it. So it's like, okay.
Are you really? But then again, I think it's also harder on her because let's just be honest. Paige Van Zandt is very, very pretty, like model status.
Well, she is.
That's
a model,
why, she is a model. Like, but she's competing in a very brutal sport, and I think a lot of people kind of don't look at her as a real fighter because of how pretty she is, and that's unfortunate because she's the one who gets in there and mixes it up.
Yeah, sorta.
I mean, she didn't win, but she gets in there and she fights.
So, like, going back to UFC, watching her in UFC, like, just because they made such a big deal out of her, I'm like, okay, yeah, model, pretty, that's great. But I was like, oh, well, there must be something to this because everyone's hyping her up and stuff. And then after watching her have a couple fights, I'm like, oh, okay, so she's not like, number 1, number 2, number 3-ish, maybe not even top. Well, I don't know if she was ever in the top 5, but I wasn't impressed with her fighting skill or technique. I know she's gotten a finish that was pretty flashy. I think she had like a flying scissor kick to Beck Rawlings, one of her fights, and she went down. Honestly, it didn't really like she kicked her that hard, but either way, she got the finish. And so she was real hyped up on that, and then just never really followed up with anything impressive after that and kind of just fizzled out. And then I think she came into this thinking she's going to be top dog, number 1. All the promotion was behind her, and all
the hype train was definitely behind her.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I was impressed with her first fight. This fight, not surprised because I don't really see her as a number 1 as far as skill goes with fighting. Unfortunately, she's good. She's definitely deserves to be professional and all that she gets, but unfortunately she just never impressed me as if like the top 5 in the women's weight classes in UFC do.
Gotcha. Well, that's why she's not in the UFC anymore.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Van Zandt lost. We will see what happens. I figure she'll probably have another fight.
I hope so.
But we'll see. I mean, it's in the air. Also, I believe if I read it right earlier, they signed Bare Knuckle Fighting signed Alan Belcher. So he'll be competing soon. Oh. Yeah, the guy with the really bad Johnny Cash tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, him.
No, I know his name. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah. Okay. We'll see.
So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, it's me. I like when the former UFC fighters go in there and mix it up because, why not?
Well, where else are they going to get their fighters from?
Yeah. And, okay, did you see that they had, not YouTubers, it was, TikTok people fighting? Like, one dude's name was Blueface. I'm all, what the is a Blueface?
Right. Yeah,
I didn't see the fights. I'm curious. Because I'm like that, but I'm.
You see, that's the kind of the feeling I get with this whole promotion. Like as far as those kind of, I feel like these guys will take anybody. That's what I feel like. Definitely feel like they'll take anybody.
I'm pretty sure I can go in there and get beat up.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give you a contract.
I wonder how much I can get paid. I'll get beat up.
Yeah,
it goes along with the question that me and my friends have always joked about. It just depends on who the most popular fighter is at the time, but it's like, would you fight Mike Tyson for $2 million? I'm like, yeah, that's an easy payday. I'm going to go in there and get floored in less than 90 seconds. Boom, instant millionaire, winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, okay, let's do it. Like, do we need Don King? No, is he not promoting anymore?
No. What happened to that guy?
He old and crazy.
I know.
But, it is what it is. I'm curious to see more of their kind of freak show side fights, but I really do want to see the guys that they are also able to bring in and turn into stars because Bare knuckle fighting fighters don't have a long shelf life. They get maybe 4 or 5 fights, like max.
I know, yeah.
So,
but also, are they really going to have? Do you really think you're going to see this number 1 champ star BKFC? I don't think so. I mean, I don't see this promotion doing very well, unfortunately. They have a lot of fighters that are interesting. I just don't see it going anywhere. So I hope they're making their money now. So maybe they get something out of it.
Do you think that they're going to – I feel like they're not going to be as popular as, say, the UFC. Okay, the UFC took a long time to cultivate that. They will not be as popular. But do you think that they are going to toe a certain line and maintain? Because as long as they can maintain that, maybe they are. I don't know how they're doing on revenue and the business side of it.
I don't know
but
either.
They are holding events. So are they going to be able to maintain that and continue to have events and just maybe
I don't know.
grow?
You got to pay your fighters. You got to pay your fighters a lot of money, especially bare knuckle, for them to do something like that. You got to offer them something, and you got to be able to pay them. So they must be doing okay, maybe right now.
Yeah.
I do know it's super early, and they're probably just developing, trying to figure that out. I hope those fighters are getting paid, but I don't know. I feel like it's a freak show. I don't know. I don't see it being professional at all. Just because of what I've seen so far, they have a lot of work to do.
Now, okay. You said it's a freak show, and I told you I enjoyed those. Yeah. But yet I haven't enjoyed it. I haven't wanted to see anybody enough to pay for it. But I feel like though, I'll be honest, if they did like a little bit of celebrity fighting, I might watch. Yeah. But it has to be like, it can't be like Triller boxing. No, bare knuckle fighting.
I don't know. I'm not sold on it. It's something to watch for sure. But that's about it. I'm not like, I'm waiting for this fight card. Like literally, you had to remind me 10 times about the.
That's true. I was like, hey, Paige Van Zandt's fighting.
I'm like,
oh yeah,
on today. Right. I'll be sure to catch that. Sorta.
I might have noticed it on her Instagram.
Yeah, I didn't even watch it. I'm just like, I'll be looking forward to hearing the results later.
Same. It was. Same. And then when I saw the results, I was like, oh, okay.
I'm like, okay, cool. Whatever. Done. Not getting back on that one.
Now we have a bit of sad news. The next UFC card, or the next pay-per-view card, I should say, excuse me, has had a change to it. Amanda Nunes is out. She has caught the COVIDs. So she is off the pay-per-view card. So she will not be competing. That fight will be moved to a future date. But man, Nunes, that's a bad female. But like, so with that, I don't even know what else is on the card. I don't care what else is on the card.
I don't. So, not that one. I've seen it.
That card, did she just completely like destroy this card just because she's not on it? I feel like yes.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a pay-per-view. I'm like, that's rough. I'm not paying for it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But so even as Amanda Nunes being on there, I don't know if I'd want to pay for it still, being that she is really one of the most interesting ones on there. That's it. That's like the top one. I'll have to go over the fight card again, but when I looked at it earlier, I wasn't too impressed on even. I was more shocked about it being a pay-per-view still. So I don't know. Not looking forward to it. I'm a little bummed out that, these 2 fight cards aren't anything crazy, and you can't have crazy fight cards every weekend, but I don't know.
But that's the UFC. They have enough fighters that they could.
They could.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, they could. So I don't know. I do keep seeing fight announcements more towards August, September-ish. So I think we'll be having some good fights coming up soon after this. So nothing too impressive that gets my attention right now, but I'll definitely be watching it anyways, like I always do.
So also on that card is Jose Aldo. He's fighting.
Oh, that's right. No, yes,
you're Pedro Munoz.
Okay.
And then Derrick Lewis versus Cyril for the interim heavyweight title. I
take that back.
That's the heavyweight fight's the only fight I really want to see, but that's also because I want to see what's going to happen, because we talked about this on a previous show, that you have Ngannou who just won. He literally just won the championship.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Hasn't even had a defense.
I know. I feel like this is a Dana White throwing a fit.
Yeah, that's what it does sound like too. And then you have Stipe, who, like, he just lost. Like, he can't even get a rematch.
He's upset too, man.
I know. I heard about that.
Dana White's
Yeah, I'd be pissed too.
What the hell?
Because he beat a lot of dudes, and then to kind of get written off, like, F that.
If I was Stipe, I wouldn't even bother with UFC anymore, to be honest, because it's clearly, you could see clear how they feel about him. You know, he's never going to get that respect for all the stuff that he's done, for him to just be discarded like that. And then also you do have this champion Francis who's getting discarded as well for whatever reason behind the scenes that's going on over there. But I think it's Dana White being a little, I don't know.
It could be because he has had a war of words with Francis's manager.
I'm just wondering how aggressive Francis's manager's being right now as far as getting paid. I feel like that could be an issue. I feel like money's always an issue.
Always.
Yeah.
But he's trying to hit heavy like Francis does. He's like, I'm trying to be like my fighter, trying to get in there, trying to get that money. So
yeah.
It is what it is.
He deserves it too, you know. He deserves it.
It's an interesting bout for the interim title. I mean,
why are they having an interim title? Why? What does that do for you?
Probably so they can unify it later and have ideally a champion versus champion, even though
that's
nobody
not a real
will.
Champion. I'm
nobody.
Sorry,
I don't know how often people really recognize the interim champs. I know the UFC goes crazy with the interim champions.
What a waste of money making that belt, man. Just pay them more. Pay them more. Have them go 5 rounds, and then make it more interesting that way. You don't need another belt. How dumb. I've never liked interim belts. I really haven't. I think they mean nothing. Depending on the situation. Like if you have a champ that's injured, that's a different story. Still don't make a belt for that though. That's dumb. Pay this guy who's on the top championship pay. If you're gonna have him fight a supposed championship fight, just pay him more. Make everyone happy instead. Giving these stupid I'm sure they'd be way more happy getting a check than a belt. That's not even the real belt, you know?
Facts. Yeah, because unfortunately, an interim title is more like a prop. That sounds terrible to say, but it's true.
It is.
Like, how much more are you getting paid for being the interim heavyweight champion rather than the heavyweight champion?
I don't know. And honestly, it sounds like those champions aren't even getting paid that well anyway. I'm a little disappointed in how UFC is handling their fighters. I feel like I can feel the corruption more and more.
Unfortunately that's always been the case. They haven't really paid their fighters very well unless it's like a GSP or a Conor McGregor, just random examples. John Jones, like names that really draw pay-per-view money. That's where the money is.
I guess, but how greedy are they being? I want to know, because they could probably definitely pay their fighters a lot more, especially how they're the biggest MMA organization. So, I mean, there's money there.
They're the name that everybody wants to fight under, and people don't even care about the fighters necessarily anymore. It's, are they fighting in the UFC?
I know. So that's cool to have that name on your resume, but how many years of your life are you taking off of not getting paid when you could be making money and a better life for yourself instead of working your ass off for an organization that sounds good but doesn't treat you well? It's like at some point you're going to be, like how everyone goes to Bellator after UFC.
After that initial UFC run,
they get paid so much more and get treated a lot better by smaller organizations that probably make less money but pay out their fighters more. I don't know. The fighting game's kind of disgusting to me now, based off of what you got to do to even make it in that world. Also, bodies dying, getting injured, you have no money. What are you doing? Why? It's, UFC is cool. I love it just because of what it is. But man, that would suck to know that those fighters aren't getting treated very well or getting paid or have zero insurance on anything. And they're literally, some of them are sleeping in their cars just to make it. And then for what? To be the champ and just be discarded. I don't know.
And not have enough to make ends meet.
Yeah, I can't afford training camp. You can't afford training camp to do your title fight or whatever. And then maybe not title fight, but trying to make it on the prelim card, or, you know, just stuff like that. It's like, man, I don't know. You don't have a long fighting life anyway, you know, so
It's true.
Got to make some decisions, tough decisions.
That's why you have to pull a Tyron Woodley and do a rap album and do all sorts of other stuff.
Some movies there. I mean, if you got it, I mean, if you can even do that, some people can't even do that. They just want to fight just because.
True.
I think they should be rewarded for that.
And one more thing that we will discuss, because I don't know if you heard, Chuck Liddell might be mixing it up again. He might get back. He might fight again.
Why?
I love Chuck Liddell because he was right in my wheelhouse of that era for me.
Yeah.
As a young fight fan. But you're right. Those were good times.
Oh, man.
I don't want to see him fight ever again.
Yeah, me either.
He doesn't fight how he was not the fighter he once was. And that sucks to say, but it's true. I really hope he doesn't fight. And stay retired.
I'm seriously becoming less and less interested in these fights like that. Like, just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me and people are totally crazy about it, but I'm not.
I'm getting right there too, where there's fighters where I'm like, no, man, hang it up.
Like, it's
I hate to be that person because I am not a fighter. I've done jiu-jitsu, but I am in no way a cage fighter. I'm just a huge fan and a semi-journalist.
Yeah.
And some of these guys, I'm just like, no, please don't. Please.
Right.
I don't want to see any more damage done to you, man.
Right. So I think it comes down to, okay, why are they doing it? I think it has money, probably, of course.
Mostly.
Which is going to be a big reason, but also, you know, a lot of those fighters that retire have a hard time retiring, like Chuck Liddell. I think he was forced to retire, still didn't want to do it. He still, like, even on his speech, you could tell he just didn't want to do it, but he was being forced. And then it's like a lot of those fighters will see them fighting as their identity. So if you're taking that away, it's like they got nothing else left. They feel like they're maybe worthless or something, or they don't have anything else that they're interested in doing. So they're always trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna make my comeback, I'm coming out of retirement, surprise. Like, okay, you shouldn't. It's like, I wonder what that issue is. Maybe a mental issue, I think, with they're just not happy, depressed that they're not in the spotlight anymore like they used to be. It's like the spotlight was so great when they were. It's like they just probably want a little bit of that back, even though they don't need it. People still love them and respect them so much. It's like I kind of feel sorry for the ones that come back and do this. Like, you know, I'd hate to see Chuck Liddell come back, especially after seeing that fight with Tito Ortiz. Definitely don't want to see him fight. Definitely don't want to see Oscar De La Hoya fight. I don't want to see who is he fighting anyway? I forgot who.
Vitor.
I'd like to see him fight, just because he's crazy and I love him. But
well, then there you go. You have a reason. Awesome.
Yeah. No, he's still got that. Like, I feel like we could still watch him fight some more. But those other guys, I'm good. I don't want to see an old guy get hit in the head and get damaged, especially one that you respect so much and love. So
I completely agree with that. We'll see what happens. We will, of course, discuss it on the MMA Mainstream Podcast. That is going to do it for us with this episode, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good weekend and enjoy the fights.